What's up, everybody? It's Jake from Prism Supply. Welcome to our new shop in Concord, North Carolina. We've had a ton of requests for a shop tour video, so that's what we're gonna do today. Let's go inside, meet the team, show you some of the work that we've done in the building, as well as talk about the history of the building, and yeah, our operations and how your parts get made. So we just walked in the front door and we're currently on the main floor. So a little bit about the building. It's built in 1908 and it's perfect for what we do at Prism. It has the right look, the right feel. It's exactly what we wanted in a building. This main floor here is 5,000 square feet. Upstairs is 5,000 square feet. And then in the basement, which is our fab shop, and that's probably my favorite spot, is 3,000 square feet. So just to kind of give you guys a little bit of reference, our past shop, between our shop and our warehouse area space, office area, was 4,500 square feet, where this one's 13,000 square feet total. And yeah, we're proud of this building and I cannot wait to show you guys. All right, so a little high level overview of the main floor. All the way in the back is our assembly area, and then moving forward is our shipping area. And then currently where we're standing right now is our bike mechanics, fabrication, content studio work area. This is basically, I would say mine and Mitch's work area for the most part. I mean, anybody can use this space to work on their own projects, but typically we're the ones that are doing the bike work, mechanic type work.
This is like kind of the R&D area where we get all of our ideas. Me and Jake have ideas, we throw them back and forth, and then we kind of have to make one to see if it actually works. And this is kind of the area where that happens. And then if we have bikes that we need to fix up or want to shoot a video for, this is also where it happens. It's kind of like the magic spot.
Yeah. And so we haven't done a ton of content in this area, only a couple videos, I feel like, up to this point. So there's gonna be a lot more videos that come out in this area. That was a big thing when we moved into this space, is we wanted it to be separate from the fab shop, because if you watch some of our past videos, we're actually in the machine shop. And so the guys are working, they're welding, they're bending things, machining things, making all sorts of noise. Yeah. And then we're trying to film content, so.
We have to dance around noise for each other, like, oh, they gotta bend something, we're gonna wait a second, because making parts is more important than making a video, kind of.
Kind of.
Kind of. So it's like we have to dance around each other. This is like a dedicated spot where we don't have to wait for them to do their thing, or they don't have to wait for us to do our thing. It's completely separate now.
Originally, when we moved in here, there was actually flooring covering the original wood floors, and we thought that there might be the original floors in here because we could go in the basement and then look up and kind of see them. We just weren't sure the condition of them or anything. So first thing we did is we pulled up the double sheets of flooring that were on it, which was kind of a project, and then yeah, exposed these, cleaned them up, oiled them, resurfaced them a little bit, but not too much. Brought
back the old feel of the building. We put a little welder in here, we put a bunch of tools. We kind of refined what we need to work on a bike in the area to this small spot. So we don't have to have a full shop with the tools right here.
That's right. And of course, if we need to machine something, we can walk right down to the back of the building, down the steps, and into the fab shop. We're doing our best to make sure everything is very laid out, very organized. That way people do put things back and we're not looking for tools for 2 days.
It wasn't a big problem in the old shop. In this shop, things have to go back to where they were, otherwise nobody can find anything.
Yeah, and I would just say overall, like, again, as we walk through this, like, you'll see everybody's kind of got that little bit of cleanliness side to them, and so everybody's kind of pushing for more of that.
Overall, I'm loving the spot. I'm loving to be able to spread out, take a step back, look at the bike without having to roll it outside. That's a really nice thing.
Have a designated just work zone.
Yes, I don't have to roll the bike down. I don't have to roll 6 bikes out of the way just to work on the one bike that I'm working on. That's a change too.
Yeah, and even at the old shop, just everything was kind of like hybrid workspaces. You would use the same workbench for machining as you would for changing the oil. So it just like didn't really make sense. So we've kind of learned a lot of those things over the years and wanted to improve that moving into this shop. In addition to Mitch doing the R&D stuff, content stuff, mechanic type related things in this area, he also does design work upstairs.
Almost directly above where we're standing right now.
Yep, your desk is right up that way, where you have a 3D printer. So that's kind of where all of the initial designs start. We'll 3D print it and
try it out, feel it.
Yeah.
Hold in our hand, make sure it looks right from all angles.
Test fit, and then from there, typically bring it downstairs and CNC it. Another one of my favorite things is these windows out front. Like at our old shop, we didn't have that, and we didn't have like bikes on display, but it makes me so happy every morning when I'm driving past here and I get to look in the windows and see all these bikes.
Yeah, as it's getting dark too, they're like backlit and you can see them from the front when you pull up. It's really cool.
Yeah, it makes me feel like a kid like driving past a motorcycle shop. As far as this space, Mitch, what are you thinking we're gonna do? What do we need to change up here?
I need a little more part storage. I think it's gonna get cluttered when we start taking a bike apart, but I think a shelf will fix that.
Yep.
I do think I need a sander, some sort of grinder sander setup, because I don't have one of those yet, but those are very handy. But those all will come in time.
Yeah, we need some more tools, basically.
Yeah.
What about this wall? We're gonna build a wall here.
The wall's gonna go up, it's gonna be really nice, and we're gonna just define this area more, rather than kind of when somebody walks in the door, everybody migrates to this area and it kind of scares me a little bit.
The idea is you could still walk in, there'll be kind of a half wall and you'll be able to like watch and look at all the bikes and see people working in here if that's what's happening. And then if you needed to buy a sissy bar, we'll have handlebars on the wall. We'll probably have a display cabinet somewhere in this area with just all of our small parts. And yeah, we just want to set it up a little bit better. So anybody that's local, if they want to come by, they can and purchase right off the retail area. Eventually, right here, we're gonna have an 8-foot garage door. It's already been actually ordered, so that'll be in shortly, and so that'll be an easy way for us to bring bikes in and out, as well as packages that are coming in or that need to be shipped. So it'd just be nice to have a door there. All right, so we covered the front of this floor. We're gonna go all the way to the back of this floor now and walk you through how our products are assembled and then eventually shipped. Right here is our assembly station, and then moving a little bit forward from that is our shipping station. But we're gonna walk into our assembly station, kind of show you how we pick parts and eventually assemble them. And then from there, those assembled parts will live on the shipping shelf. Let's meet Woody and go through the operations of assembling a product. This is Mr. Woody. He's our man in charge of assembly as well as the packaging. So Woody's responsible for how a customer feels a product at the first time. So we're not necessarily talking about the shipping box per se, but the box or the bag that the individual product is packaged in and how it's assembled. So this is the man in charge of this station. Every morning, Woody will come in and he'll download a report of what needs to be made for that day to restock the shipping shelves. And then from there, he'll pull up, like in this case, 5 and 6 speed foot clutch setup. He'll pull up the assembly drawing and it'll tell him how many of each product to pull, where to pull it from, and then actually how the product should be assembled into the box itself or the bag itself. Yeah, so in this area, everything is skewed and in numerical order. So once he's pulling the parts for that specific product, he can go to, it's 1002 or whatever the SKU is, and then know to start at that end or start on this end. So we're trying to keep everything as organized and as detailed as possible. And Woody's had a big hand in keeping this area specifically.
Yeah, so everything is assembled here. For example, if you order a petcock, we'll do a 1/4-90 brass. Come get the body, the switch, the stopper, get a little look of all the other components here. A filter, snap ring, O-rings, and monocassette screw. That's everything for a petcock.
Every single product is touched by us, and we have our hand in it, whether that be from the machining side, fab side, or just assembly side and shipping. Every single product starts here in this area, and Woody heads this area up. So in addition to Woody managing all these assembly details and making sure everything's assembled right and the right materials, which is a big responsibility, he also does a lot of graphic design for us. So packaging, layout stuff, boxes, bag toppers, etc. So anything that ends up in your final shipping box and the feel and the look of that comes from Woody in this area. And our goal with that is to make sure everything feels like an absolute premium product, from the part to the packaging to once we get into final shipping, how that feels. Once the product's fully assembled, goes through an inventory system, not to get too in the weeds, but then ends up in the inventory in the shipping area. And that's where over here, you'll meet Mr. Zach. We got 2 Zachs. So this is ZJ, Zach Jackson.
And Zach.
The what?
I'm the new Zach.
He's the new Zach, the young Zach. He's our fellow 12 o'clock boy. He likes to do some wheelies and
Here and there.
then also throw some frisbees, which he hates when I say that, so I do it on purpose. But
Big into the
disc golf. Disc
yeah.
golf is his thing. Starting in the fab shop, from bending these and machining these to the assembly department to even the shipping. Like, again, we try to put as much detail as possible to make sure you guys get the most premium product in the end. So this is our very, very last step in quality control.
Yeah.
Even though it has, this label on it and this number, it's still Zach's responsibility to check to make sure this actually is a red spark plug wire instead of a black one, and make sure that these SKUs match, for example.
Sometimes we'll get something funky like this where it doesn't look all nice, and I won't pull that. I'll repackage it first, make sure everything looks perfect for you.
Yeah, everything is packaged the exact same way, and we have packaging instructions to make sure it all looks that way. And if not, we gotta pull it and redo it.
Make it look right. So just like over in assembly, everything is in SKU order, starting from 1 all the way down to 2200 or whatever. So I'll get a finished part, finished good. I'll come over here and say it's a foot clutch kit. So I'll come put it back. And like I said, everything's in order, so I know exactly what's where. And I come through here on each one of these shelves and I'll pick out each individual part. So like, we got stainless, we got mild. It's very specific, and you gotta make sure you know exactly which one you're looking for. This is probably my most satisfying section here, all the grips laid out. I think it looks really pretty.
The old shop, we kind of just had to make things work because we didn't have the space. So like here, before we moved anything in, we made it a point that everything could be a numerical order. Absolutely. And that we reserved room on each shelf still to grow and to expand. So just a lot more thought's gone into it.
And it's nice too, like we have a sissy bar area and we have a handlebar area and we got like a merch area over there. So it's just nice having the separation to keep everything organized like that.
All right, so I know it sounds like a lot of back and forth because we started in the bike mechanic area and then went to assembly, and now we're in shipping, but we're actually now gonna go downstairs, and that's our fab shop, and that's really where everything starts. That's where the heartbeat, the foundation of the business is what I would say. All right, so now we're down the basement, and this is truly like the foundation of the business, and this is where all the fab work happens and goes down. And this is probably the space that I'm most proud of in general throughout this building. Here I am with Rob, and he makes every single handlebar, every single sissy bar, does a lot of the welding, every bit of fabrication, grinding, all that down here. He's also was the first employee to Prism, so introducing Rob.
Hi.
Welcome, Rob.
Before in the old shop, we had bikes and lifts and, shipping and all that stuff was going on. So now to have it just like dedicated fab and we don't have to worry about working around if they're building a bike or doing other stuff is nice in terms of just like space. Like our handlebars comes in lengths of 21 feet.
This is seriously one of Rob's favorite things about the basement.
Yeah. Well, in the old shop, we had material on the wall above a lathe, so I'd have to like pick up a stick and kind of weave through the shop to get it to the bandsaw. But here now, we made these just PVC tube systems, so these go 20 foot back in the wall, so I can literally just grab a stick, drop it right onto the bandsaw, cut it, move over to the bender, bend it, and super clean, like nothing's in the way, which is really nice.
As far as like the flow of things down here, so our goal was to kind of keep things separated. So we got a machine shop that basically this was like machine shop row in a sense. I mean, obviously we have our CNC there, but machine shop row, and then between these posts is welding, and on that end, obviously welding table. And then over here, which Rob was talking about, is grinding, bending, bandsaws. So we moved in here in April, but we got the keys to the building in February. So we had 2 months of upfit that needed to be done before we moved anything in. Maybe a month and a half, wasn't even quite 2 months. And that was a sprint of a couple months. And the biggest thing that we did was the work here in the basement. And we had to fully gut it.
This center was open. There was a whole wall on that side with an old boiler, heater system. There was like a bedroom here, a bedroom here. There was an old workshop there. And it was just like terrible. So first day in here, I tore everything out.
There was no doors and no windows down here. And so we put in those French doors there, and we discussed putting in a garage door. I don't know, we just kind of felt like that looked nice and it had a similar function. So we ended up putting in French doors here, which is just really nice. When we get a delivery of a gas bottle or steel, you can just open those doors and go right in. Same thing with all these windows. None of these windows were here. There was no electrical. So we did all the conduit work, airlines, plumbed all the airlines. And I would say that's another thing that we switched from our old shop is everything at our old shop was pneumatic rubber lines.
Just hose, we had hose reels. Just
hose reels everywhere, leaks everywhere. And so we kind of had to learn the hard way, I guess. I would say things are a lot more thought out in the basement and just for efficiency and flow. And
now the setup is just 1,000 times better.
We're super proud of the cleanliness down here. I mean, cleanliness across the whole building, but I mean, this is not cleaned up for the video at all. This is how we keep it at all times.
It's actually probably a little
messier,
dirtier than normal.
So basically there's Rob and Derek that are the two that work down here the most. So they're like brothers. They get along so well. They really do. I'm not bluffing when I say that. So
yeah.
Let's go.
It's a special relationship.
It is a special relationship. Let's go see Derek. I just heard Derek chuckle. Nobody's ever allowed to enter. He's keeps it locked at all times. And then you walk in and it's an absolute mess. Can you believe that?
That's not true.
The most anal person here about keeping everything else clean. Look at this. Look at this. You call this knolling?
There's reasons for all this.
I'm just kidding. I'm stressing Derek out right now. He does not want this shown. But no, this is Derek, AKA Dwayne's Powertrains, AKA Diego Sanchez, AKA, I don't know.
Boy.
Derek is my longest running friend. We met the early days of high school and became friends and have worked together since.
Yeah, just build engines in here. Just Harley engines and, knuckleheads up to, I'll do Evos, but yeah, just engine repair, a lot of cast aluminum repair, and yeah, just kind of everything. So at the old shop, I basically had a square with like an island in the middle, and it worked out really well. It was still really small. I think this might be a little bit bigger, but it took a lot of laying out to get this right and get all my machines and having kind of a flow in here, but pretty happy with it after moving everything around a million times, got it dialed in. So this is kind of more assembly space back here. I'm kind of my office as well a little bit. And then this side over here is kind of machining and yeah, just machining, cleaning over there. Well, I just got this Vidmar cabinet, so like half of this is out because I have so many projects going on around the shop that I just kind of have to have it laid out in some weird chaos for me to be able to get to it. But also I'm kind of half-assed trying to organize it to actually be able to store it away and make some sense of it so I can get to it easier. But you just kind of learn that over time. As more you organize and the less time you spend searching for stuff and getting pissed off trying to find one bolt you need, the nicer it is to work and a little more efficient. So I'm in here all the time, but 3 days a week I do some Prism work.
Every evening, I guess you're in here.
Every evening, and I live in here. I do a lot of the foot controls. That's probably the main thing. A lot of the foot clutches, the brakes, which is kind of a lot of the grinding and then welding of them. I do a lot of like the hand shifters, just a lot of welded parts. The old Ameribraid right here, this thing's a badass. Yeah, just all the edges of all of our parts, all the laser cut edge gets ground off. Just try to keep it nice and even and have some good lines to it. They're all a little bit different. Yeah, you can kind of see.
So a lot of people probably wouldn't even notice, like if we were to leave this laser cut edge on, but this is the attention to detail that we want to put into all of our parts. So this is the laser cut edge, and then we grind that off to this.
Yeah, then we weld a bung on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
And then
it gets sewn.
Then it gets tumbled. But Yeah, these are kind of a hot seller, so, and we have so many different styles, it kind of keeps me pretty busy just doing this a lot of the time. But yeah, so I spent a lot of time on the grinder, spent a lot of time over here welding, which even the welding setup is so much nicer, and the shop's just more open. This place, when we were first moving in, I almost didn't even want to move my shop into here. It looked like a wreck. So I mean, Jake's like, it will be dialed in, I promise you, and he did deliver, because it's super nice working in here.
I can't even begin to tell you guys how much time we have put into this place. Like, I think at one point I worked 3 months straight, like 7 days a week, 12, 14-hour days, not taking a day off. It was insane.
Yeah.
But it was just part of it. We had to, just to get as much done as possible before moving any of this in.
Yeah.
What's your favorite piece of equipment in here?
Oh, you don't even have to ask.
Oh, I know.
So I got my Lagoon. I pretty much just bought it a few months before we moved because I knew we would be able to have room for it, and a great deal came up, and I've been wanting a Lagoon anyways, so but between everything else, I've spent a ton of time on this thing, kind of trying to get it really dialed in right now, so it's been really nice, and looking forward to actually just getting to just do work down here and work on it. This is actually Jake's engine, but you can see right here, the idler stud got blown out at one point, so I'm just fixturing this in here and getting all the coordinates I'm actually taking coordinates for everything so I can make a fixture plate to indicate all this stuff in, and so I can weld this up and then remachine it back exactly where it was gonna go. So I was kind of in the middle of doing that, and now I'm sending my spindle off to get it rebuilt. So it's gonna be on there for a second, but again, that's the nice part about having my own mill. I can just leave it on here and get to it when I get to it. One that's good.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that.
It's a big work in progress, but just finally having a spot to have all my own tooling and stuff, and again, just being able to open it up and grab it without almost looking is kind of something I've gotten used to, that I just kind of have to have at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, I'll also be honest. I'm the first one to give him a hard time, especially on camera, about organizing and spending time doing this stuff. But trust me, this right here makes me so happy too.
For Prism, I run the CNC a lot too. We do a lot of our own like production work in here. This is kind of fun. It's been fun learning that, programming it a little bit. I get a little bit into the CAD CAM side of it, and Jake will occasionally let me do a fun part for myself in there. So, but yeah, I enjoy learning that and getting better at that as well.
All right, so currently on the main floor, about to head upstairs all the way to the 3rd floor, and we had to stop and show you guys my favorite staircase. I love this staircase. It's like a grand staircase. It's so wide and old and cool looking. I don't know. It's just one of those things I love. So while we're walking up these stairs, everywhere that you look on the brick that's not painted white had thick plaster. And so before we moved anything in here, we took a hammer drill and chiseled every bit of plaster off, both this main floor and the upstairs floor, and it made an absolute mess. This is just kind of an open floor plan right now. We're not using a ton of the space, which is nice because it gives us room to grow. This is another favorite thing about the building, is this elevator. So it's a manual elevator, so there's like pulleys inside here that you actually pull on. There's a brake. It's a big drum brake right here. So you release the drum brake and then you can move the elevator up or down, and it works. And so this is actually how we moved all of those heavy tanker desk up here. Gear drive up there. And it really doesn't feel that heavy. Like if there's a full load on this. We were talking about the front mechanic content area, and originally we had the idea of, well, what if we just like make it upstairs, but with that we would have had to heavily modify the elevator. So still something we might do eventually long-term, but for now, it's just a freight elevator that a motorcycle can't fit on. Womp womp. Moving towards the boys, here's our kitchen. Even at our old shop, we had basically a shelf. It was like that, and it had a microwave on it, and all of our condiments, and coffee maker, grinder, and that was it. That was like our kitchen, and you just kind of had to find a spot to eat. Yeah, so it's nice to have a place to just prepare your food, cook your food, store your food, have silverware and dishes just ready to go. This is kind of just a collection of furniture and things that we tried to somewhat push out of the way and kind of set up. But these are some wonderful legs. So if you have a name, we're looking for names for our lamp setup over here. Kind of looks like a Toy Story Pixar lamp, or just a nice set of legs. Name it. Over here, this is my desk. I actually bought this desk about a year ago, and it was a marketplace deal, and it was painted, and so I shipped all the paint and refinished it. But it's like a true 60s high-end desk, and I love it. These are, there's two of these. There's actually one here at this staircase. This is a smaller staircase, and there's one at that larger staircase over there. And these are two benches that came out of a train station in North Carolina from like the 20s. And my friend Jeremy gave us these as like a shop warming gift when we moved in here. All right, so we talked to Mitch downstairs in the content area. In addition to that workspace mechanic content area, this is also Mitch's desk where a lot of the behind the scenes part design, part development happens.
Yeah, this is my workstation. Design area, we've got 3D printer, we've got the plotter, and then this is all projects kind of on their way through the pipeline. Just new parts, new stuff coming out. It's all back here, organized.
Top secret stuff.
Yeah, blur this out, blur it all out. Yeah, and then I can kind of easy access to build, to cut, to design, all in this little corner here. Somebody comes up with an idea here, and we talk it out. We decide whether we want to go with it or not go with it. When we want to go with it, we kind of have a rough idea. I'll model it out, I'll print it out, and then we'll talk out whether we like the shape, what we do and don't like about the shape, refine that out, fit it on a bike, print it out again, and when we're ready for that, we'll make it out of steel, aluminum, whatever we need to make it out of to actually run it and physically test it on a bike to see if it actually works. And then,
How long do you estimate the turnaround time is from concept of a new product to actually final production?
Ooh. I think the turnaround time on average is about 9 months, probably.
Yeah.
From idea to packaging on the website, which is pretty quick in the grand scheme of things, I think.
Yeah, and especially now because as we've like grown, we've had to invest in different tooling, and then just the turnaround time of the tooling just takes time.
Yeah, and to test it and get it right.
That's right.
Back in the day, we used to come up with an idea and like a month and a half later, we'd be riding it, testing it, and a couple weeks later, we'd have it for sale.
Yeah.
But kind of slowed down, but made it better in the long run, I think.
For sure. And we really just like spend the extra time proving out the quality of the product too, to make sure like once a customer gets it, we don't have to hear about it anymore, that it is perfect and it's gonna work and it's gonna fit as it should.
The goal is to have Gump get as least amount of calls as possible.
That's right. On that note, let's go talk to Gump.
Yeah, say hi to Gump for me.
Will do. Before I fully introduce you to Gump, I gotta give you a little background about his nickname. First of all, does anybody ask you about that?
Sometimes, yeah,
Okay.
every once in a while, yeah.
All right, so at our old shop, we had our shop and then we had our shipping area office space, and they were separate spaces. And so Gump would run, like almost jog from one spot to the next and then back like all day long. And so somewhere along the line, somebody named him Gump, Forrest Gump, Run, Forrest, Run. So,
Yeah, one of my favorite movies, so I'll take it.
Also one of his favorite movies, and so that's how he got the nickname Gump. Gump does all of our customer service conversation stuff, phone calls, emails, product questions, inventory back-end stuff. Tell us a little bit more about what you do.
Yeah, so I kind of, handle all the customer service and shipping, dealing with customers over email or phone, just any product questions or if they need help ordering or anything like that. And then I do help with shipping, oversee that. And then just kind of also a little bit of a floater, make a joke if you want to, but kind of do just odds and ends and kind of help fill in gaps where there's an extra hand needed, and I enjoy that. So.
Yep, yeah, and during the build out process of the building, Gump had a lot to do with that. And, was definitely an extra hand through that process.
Yeah,
as everybody was,
yeah,
but
that's fun.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gump.
Cool,
Appreciate
thank you.
it. Anything else you want to say? How do you like the new space?
I like it. It's good. we were starting to grow up, and now it's nice to be able to spread out because we have more space. So it's been cozy, a lot of better food options in Concord, so can't complain.
So last but not least, wait, that's not true at all because Josh behind the camera.
Yeah, we'll get to him eventually.
Yeah, I don't know how we're gonna get to you, but yeah, Ben's worked here for a bunch of years now, and the way it started is we were friends, but then I was planning the first congregation, and I didn't really realize how big of an undertaking planning an event was.
He was drowning a little bit.
And he had some experience in that and was just like, yo, let me help you out. I can lend a hand. And so that's when we first started working together. Eventually that evolved into a job here at Prism. So
Yep. It's been great ever since. I do a lot of the business stuff here, kind of HR. I don't know if you saw my CFO plaque downstairs, but make sure that gets in the video, Josh. Yeah, just kind of business stuff, a lot of management and doing some like parts ordering, accounting, logistics, stuff like that. Planned out our move. That was an undertaking that I think we're proud of. We moved our whole shop here, and we were not shipping orders for only 2 business days, so that was a success. But yeah, you can find me behind this computer for most hours of the day, making sure this place is up and running smooth. And making sure these guys aren't, hurting each other and things of that nature.
And what's your favorite thing about the building? My
favorite thing about the building is probably the backyard. Ooh. I think soon we will have a deck in the backyard, and I'm assuming you guys have talked about some of this already, but I think soon we'll be utilizing the backyard to its full potential. And I like having multiple bathrooms.
That's right. All right, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right, so last but least, behind the camera, Josh. Everybody, this is Josh. Josh is our newest employee, and I didn't save you for last on purpose. It's just because you were behind the camera.
Makes sense. No, totally. I get it. I feel offended.
So that's what Josh does. Josh, first of all, we're incredibly thankful to have you. And but he does all of our photo, video content, website updates, marketing things, creative direction.
Yeah, so we've been moving forward. All the videos that you'll be seeing, it's me. We're over here at this little section, which is where we do all of our product photography. So anything that you see on the website with the white background, it's all shot here. I think Mitch designed this whole thing with the lights so we can use softbox lights, which is really beneficial for us. My desk is over there, and I edit all our videos here. That's also where I run everything on the website, taking care of all that. I've only been here for 2 months, so I'm still trying to figure everything out, but it's been really good.
So a lot more content coming from Prism soon.
Yeah, a lot more videos coming your way. So super excited about that. Love working here. The space is huge, which has been really nice because it's just created a lot of flexibility for us to be able to grow and expand and make things happen. And it gives us a lot of opportunity to shoot a lot of content, which has been huge.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Josh.
Super cool.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, dude.
All right, so to finish the tour out, we came up with a grand staircase. One of my favorite things, we're gonna go down the smaller staircase and then we'll make the full circle and then we'll be done. Oh yeah, so while we're coming down the staircase, here's a cool little mid-level office that actually overlooks the main floor. Currently, we're just using this for meeting space. If somebody needs to take a private call, this is their spot. All right, guys, so if you made it this far, thank you. I'm sorry, hopefully it wasn't too boring for you, but I do appreciate you guys watching it. I am personally incredibly proud of this place, and I just want to thank you guys for all the orders and all the support over the years to allow us to be able to do this every day and to have a space like this for us to be able to grow in and build parts for you guys. So lots more to come. Thanks again for following along, and we'll see you guys soon.
Turn the shop lights on.
Okay.